Okay, family, we are live. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Once again, this is another installment of Feel Free TV. In this installment, we're going to be talking about voting in this 2020 election, this upcoming election. Um, you seen the political candidates we got running, and it's really not much to pick from. So most people are going to choose a side, or some people are not going to vote at all. We're going to talk about both sides and not voting. Okay. So, but one thing I want to talk about first would be how important is it for Black people to vote in this upcoming election? Because you hear a lot of people say, "Yo, you gotta vote, you gotta vote." Like, we got to get him out of office. We got to get him out of there. So a lot of people are making it seem like it's a very important urgency that if you don't vote, your life could be in danger. The way the people make it seem like, in my opinion. So I don't really think it's that much of an urgency to vote, especially if you feel like there's no one to vote for. A lot of people feel like you just have to choose a side. It's either one or the other. Excuse me, I said Republican. I mixed that together. Republican or Democrat. So, Amisha,
Yes.
why do you think it's important for Black people to vote in this upcoming election?
I think it's important for Black people to vote because of basically what our ancestors went through to get us the right to vote. Them being hosed, being chased down, police with dogs, by dogs, them not having a voice, and them actually getting a chance to establish that in 1965. So I think it's important that we go out there and vote because we are important people. Some people think that our race is not important, but it is. So I think it's very important for us to go out and vote.
Okay. Elon, what do you feel about that?
I think that as Kamisha just stated, that it's very important for people to get out there and vote. We're citizens. As citizens, we're also political beings. A lot of people don't like politics because politics is messy. Politicians lie, they're deceitful. But whether citizens like it or not, they're going to be counted as political beings.
Okay.
We recently had the census. They're counting numbers of people for a reason. There are resources that get allocated to these areas. Growing up, that's not so. I've always been a U.S. citizen, right? But I never really spoke about my citizenship. But it wasn't until certain rights were taken from me that I actually looked and was like, there has to be some importance to it. Like, it has to be worth something. People don't take things from you that are worthless.
Right.
But because it's worth something, there's a reason why it was taken from me. However, I don't think it's as simple as me and Kamisha saying that, yes, we believe that Black people should go out and vote. Because a lot of people, because they don't like politics, right? They're misinformed, it's too easy to sway the vote of people because they're not really so with a Trump and a Biden, right? Who do you vote for out of a Trump and a Biden? So you have Trump on one side and who Vader, Stromberg, Central Park 5.
Yeah, I remember. I know. He wanted the execution.
If it was up to Trump,
yeah,
Corey Wise, Kevin Richardson, these guys would not be around. They would have been executed then.
Exactly right.
You get what I'm saying?
It's awful.
They would have never got exonerated because they all would have been dead. You know what I'm saying? Biden, 94 crime bill.
Exactly. That's another thing.
Mass incarceration. It seems like I'm voting against my people either way I choose between these two parties. You know what I'm saying? And so
That's how I feel conflicted.
right. It can be discouraging, but I think it's important for people to still try to figure out how they're going to maneuver this thing. And so to talk about voting leads to a larger discussion about the black body politic. We need a black body politic. We need more people who look like us, who share our interests. But I don't want to go down a rabbit hole just yet. But
I also think we need our own party. We're stuck in Democrat and Republican. And we feel like this is the only party. It's either one or the other. And we've been in both parties. At first, we were all Republicans.
Right. You know, a lot of people don't know that.
During the Reconstruction era.
Right.
And then, as Republicans, black people have made the furthest leap into being into politics ever in history. Ever in our history of being in America, during the Reconstruction era is when we had more people in politics that was able to be shot callers. You could say senators, congressmen, all these states in the South, especially the South, where we know racism is extremely blatant, and also in the North, the Midwest. Right. So it's like, okay, we were all Republicans at one time. And the Democrats are what the Republicans are today. Back then, when we were Republicans.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're in the Matrix. Right. And everything just flipped around.
It flipped around, yeah.
Now we gotta realize, like, what happened? Why did it flip?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we don't look at Democrats as being racist.
No.
In this day and age.
But look at the community that we're from. If you ask people from our communities what's their political party, they're gonna say Democrat. And if you ask them why, they're gonna say it's simple. Democrat is for the poor, Republicans are for the rich. I'm poor, so that makes me a Democrat.
See what I'm saying?
But it's not that simple though.
It's not.
And you don't really want a mass movement of people going to the polls with that type of mentality.
And that's the majority of people are Democrat because their grandparents was Democrat, their mother's Democrat. Right. It's just like religion. But we'll talk about that a whole nother day.
He said the R word.
but listen, political views are almost religious. No, I mean the way people take it seriously.
The way that people take to them,
yeah, they take it to heart. Like it's just like religion. They get real serious and get real passionate about it.
Yeah.
So, like the Knights Templar, the Ku Klux Klan, that was started by Democrats. You know what I'm saying? They were the enforcers of the Democratic Party. You know, these are the ones who forced us. When we were all Republicans, they forced us at the polls, put pressure on us, killed us, raped our women, burnt our cities down, and made us either not vote at all or vote Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then later on, it also changed when he oh my God, what's the guy's name? The president. He came out with the New Deal.
Who? FDR?
Is it FDR? I think it. I'm not for sure. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that.
Me freestyle. I love it.
Yeah.
I think it was
I'll come back to that.
I think it was FDR though.
I'll come back to that because I want to get the name and everything right when I go back to it. So I just feel like these are both wings of the same bird, Republican, Democrat. I feel like this is just, I feel like your vote really doesn't matter, but your participation in the system shows that you believe in the system. And that's what really matters to the people who are the puppet masters, which are not really the politicians. See, your participation shows that you believe in the system. As long as you believe in this system, you're stuck. You're like a robot. You know what I'm saying? You're like a screw that's in this machine. You're gonna help it keep going. And this is what they need. They need people to believe that they have a chance. If everyone knew that if everyone knew,
what chance is what? What do you mean about chance?
A chance to say who rules them
Oh,
or who's in power. Because you always have Congress, you have senators, we have all these people who speak for us, actually. You know what I'm saying? We are given the illusion that our vote, our ballot is speaking for us, but we give that to congressmen, senators, electoral college. We have to depend on middlemen who can sway either way.
it's representative.
It's representatives.
But listen, that's what makes us. That's what's ill about the American people, though. Oh, Kamisha was right, by the way. It is FDR.
It's FDR?
Yeah, I just looked it up.
I
Yeah.
know.
You got that. You did that. But look at this idea of the American dream, right? you grow up as an American citizen, and you have the liberty to pursue whatever career you want to pursue whoever you want to be in life, right? Now look at politics on the other hand. Politics is a dirty game. There are tough decisions that need to be made.
All the time.
Imagine us going to war. Kamisha, this country just attacked us. What should we do next?
Retaliate.
Retaliate how? Do we go in there and just bomb?
No, we're not going to bomb them. I think we need to find a leader, like what Obama did. I'm sorry, President Obama did when he went after Osama bin Laden. He killed Osama bin Laden, and George Bush Jr. was trying to find him his whole term. How is it that President Obama was the one that actually got the person who did the 9/11 attack?
Right. So listen, the reason I asked you that though, right?
Yeah.
So of course you're intelligent. You're going to give me an answer. The average citizen doesn't even want to attempt to make decisions like that. So what does Vader do? Vader says, listen, we know those are hard decisions. And you shouldn't be responsible for making them because you have other things to do. You know, you're pursuing the house with the picket fence and you want a puppy and you want to have children. So what I need you to do is you vote for me because I'm going to make all the hard decisions on your behalf and you get to live out your version of the American dream.
Right.
You buy all the purses and heels you want. You flaunt your stuff on Instagram. We know that's the life that you much rather live. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so people, especially American citizens, like we fall victim in that regard.
Yeah, because we all the problem is, I don't know.
I hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Stop messing with me. Why you even see why you mess? See, and this is why I need you to vote for me, because you can sit around and just mess with your computer all day. You don't need to worry about what's going on in Iran and Iraq. Don't even worry about that.
Don't worry about it. Why they doing all type of atrocities and destabilizing other countries? That's a whole other topic. Okay. Anyway.
Destabilize the
countries. So this is the thing right here. This is another question I had. So most black people are going to vote Democrat. That's just a fact.
Yep.
That's what we're programmed to do. We're conditioned to do that. Does anyone have a logical reason why we should vote for Joe Biden and Kamala and not just do this because we're programmed to do it, but have a logical reason? And okay, I'm going to give a two-part question.
I should buy some
I'm going to give a two-part question.
I think that Joe Biden, I think that people are going to vote for him because of his record with President Obama. He was his vice president for 8 years. He served underneath a black president. So people trust President Obama, so they're gonna be like, okay, we can trust Joe Biden. They don't know what he done. All they care about is that he was with President Obama, so they're gonna go ride with him. As for Harris, Miss Harris, yeah, I don't particularly care if she is worthy to be a vice president candidate. I don't think that she should even have the opportunity to be in the White House or even serve us, because she is not for the Black people. So unfortunately, we have to go for her. For 8 years, he served in Black.
Yeah, I feel like basically we're basically everyone is on this campaign of we have to get Trump out. I understand that. I definitely understand it. I don't like Trump or Biden or Harris. I mean, I don't. But my thing is people don't have really a logical reason as far as like, what are they offering you for your vote? Everyone just wants to get Trump out, but no one can say what the Democrats is offering them for their vote. What are they going to do for them?
Well, that they sell that dream that they do, their $1 million dreams. I'll give you this health care. I'll give you this. I'll give you that. Then when they get in, it's not going to change anything. I think
this is what I'm saying. Then why do we participate when we know that both sides is playing this and it's basically the same thing? Like, why do we do that? And then listen, we've been voting. Black people here in America have been voting for probably like, you say 152 years, you give it like that. We've been voting. What has changed as far as the needs that we had back then as opposed to the needs that we have now? Economics, we're still behind. Education, we're still behind. It was more people educated in the 1870s than it is right now, which is crazy.
I hear what you're saying.
Like,
right?
what is actually?
What's what?
I don't know about that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, I hear what you're saying. But just because, so you're making an argument that we're not seeing as much progress as we possibly should.
Because we have the same issues that we had when we first started voting. We have those same issues. And we've been believing in this system for 100-something years since we could vote. And we still be having the same issues. We still have the same exact issues then that we do now.
All right, so is it better to vote?
Faith in this system as far as participating in the act. I had to do the quotation marks, the act of voting.
Uh-huh.
It's like insanity. It's like doing something over and over and not getting any results. It's just a bunch of promises.
So are you saying that we shouldn't vote?
I'm saying, why do we? I'm not going to vote. And this is how, me personally, this is what I believe. But I'm not saying people don't go out there and vote. I'm just saying, me personally. And this is why I'm not voting. Because I feel like we're doing the exact same thing. It's like, it becomes insanity when we're trying to see something different, but doing the same thing. And we've been doing it for 100+ years. We have been voting. Black people have been voting. So why partake in the system that we know really doesn't work for us? That's the crazy.
At least it's all some people see that they have. And so what you largely also spoke about, right, was the peer pressure that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because then when I have all my friends or all my family or my communities telling me, yo, make sure you go out there and vote, I feel pressured to vote, even though I may not necessarily, right, understand why I should be voting or understand who I'm going to vote for. And so what happens is when Vader takes me to the polls with him, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to vote the way he votes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if he's driving me to the polls and he's like, yo, bro, yo, you know we got to get Trump out of there, right? And I'm like, this, yeah, we got to get Trump out of there. And so that becomes the narrative.
Yeah.
Or they even try to say, you know, do it for your ancestors. You know what, your ancestors died for you to vote, get that right to vote. You have to vote.
Right.
You
And now you're
have
playing,
to go.
and now you're playing, and that approach is a horrible approach on people because
Right.
you're not actually educating them in the process. So yes, as political beings, we should vote, right? But not because I blamed you into voting. Not because I played the ancestral card and said, you know, your people
Exactly.
died for this right, which is true. It's a valid point, but people need more than that. Don't try to scare me into voting. You know what I'm saying? Because then what happens, right? It's like you're leading the sheep, but you blindly leading them.
Exactly.
Right. And so our people continue to get slaughtered, like Vader spoke of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but then again, so now I'm starting to think that are we actually ready for these larger discussions? Like, what does it mean for us to have a black body politic? What does that look like?
And plus, then we have to start speaking about all of us having the same agenda, because we're gonna gotta come together, right?
Hold on, I'm about to cut my screen right off.
So we all have to be on the same agenda. We all have to have the same agenda. We might not all agree, but far as a people,
Yo, Vader,
at least, yeah.
A young woman had commented on your post. She told you, she was like, what she said? Your skin folk ain't your kin folk.
Oh yeah, all skin folk ain't your kin folk.
All skin folk ain't your kin folk. Yeah, I want you to touch on that too.
That's
because that post that you put up,
yeah,
about what's her name, Jade Simmons. I had no idea a black woman was running.
I had no idea. He had to put me onto that. I had no idea.
You know what? Let's actually talk about that right now. Who is Jade Simmons?
No, it's Jade. It's with a D.
Jade is Jade.
Yeah, Jade.
It's Jade. Don't worry.
Look,
my bad,
look,
Jade is
he tried to turn the sister into a white woman. Nah, get a sister hers. Jade.
Jade.
Simmons.
Yeah. Give her hers.
Give her hers, definitely. Salute to her. Who is Jade Simmons?
Who knows? Okay.
So this is now. I came across her not too long ago. Very much shortly after I posted it on Instagram. I think I found out about it on YouTube, something like that. So it blew my mind because I'm like, okay, she's running for president, and we haven't even heard about her.
Listen, so now, I have been doing so since January.
Exactly. So my thing is this: that not only do they have not only do they have the votes on lock, on smash between two parties. You know what I'm saying? So now they have their pick. Nobody else independent can come up and compete with them because they're not going to put you on the same platform.
Right.
I mean, they do have like Kanye West trying in some states.
He's not really running. She's really running.
Yeah, but the problem is that she didn't have a good team with her, a good endorsement team. Like
she doesn't have the machine, the media, the money.
Right. She doesn't have a good endorsement team. She didn't get people to, donate to her campaign. So of course nobody knows who she is because it's just like, who are you? Okay.
And this is the thing. I think that's a serious problem.
That is.
Because they cornered off the market. Like they have no competition. So now you got two bullies on the block fighting against each other. And nobody else can get in.
No, they're not necessarily, because I hear that you say she's running for president, but there were so many other people that was running for president. Like, look at Bloomberg. He got into the race late and he got his name on it. But unfortunately, if you don't have the voter.
Bloomberg is a billionaire.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Even a billionaire can make it. So wait a minute. A billionaire got in a race late. if she was doing that, why couldn't she get in the race? It's also about
she doesn't
who's
have
gonna
those resources. I'm quite sure. And you know what? I really don't know. I don't want to assume.
right. So who fault is
But
that?
in my opinion, I feel like she doesn't have the resources like as a Biden being backed by the Democratic Party.
Of course not.
Trump, she doesn't have the resources, so they can't. They're not going to put her in a political debate with
She
the
needs
rest
to,
of.
right. She
So
what she needs to do is
therefore,
she
you're
needs
limiting the competition. You only.
to,
That's what they're doing. You're limiting the
she
competition.
needs to get in contact with Obama's team, how his campaign ran, and take notes and listen how they
He's
did
not
that.
a Democrat.
Well,
See,
gotta
that's
learn.
another
Gotta
thing.
learn.
Listen, you know what's really sad, right? Is
It's
that
crazy.
so I get what you're saying, right? As an independent, yeah, they not only they didn't necessarily bully her on the stage, they just didn't give her access to the stage, period. I
Mhm.
get that. I get that. But what I'm wondering, right, is that as a black man in America who frequents social media, why did I just learn about this woman the other
Yeah.
day? Look, the question I'm posing, look, you don't I don't think you need the Obamas for this. I don't think you need necessarily a big machine behind it.
You just need social media.
There were people who are sitting in their living rooms and who have hundreds of thousands of followers, who have millions of followers. Like they were able to figure out a formula that
Right.
works, that could get to the people who you know will vote for you.
True.
She is a black woman whose running mate is also another black woman. How the hell is that not making headlines?
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying the same thing. Like, how is that not blown up? Especially in this climate, in this day and time, I would have think that, especially black people, we will all know about it.
Right.
And that's that media machine. That's a whole nother topic, talking about media controlling everything that we see and hear. You know what
But it's
I'm saying?
also her. It's not us people. It's her. She didn't put herself out there nationally. Maybe she didn't have the funds for it. If you're independent, you have to work extra harder. You're in a party that's not in office. There never
Right.
was like an independent president. So she had to think logically, like,
You had-
okay,
Who else ran that was independent? Somebody else was independent and they ran. But it was a little more mainstream than her.
that
Was
was
it that
I
the
think
Green Party? What's the guy's name?
I think it was
the
Bob
climate control?
Dole.
Dole.
Yeah, Bob Dole. And look what happened to him. Okay.
Yeah.
So like she needs to pick a side. Unfortunately, red or blue.
But those are
See,
Sorry.
taken.
those are
Red and blue are taken.
especially if you don't agree with their ideology.
I'm saying for future reference, she needs to pick a side, red
No,
or blue.
but listen, that's actually part of her campaign. So I actually had to look her up and read up on her, and she said that she understands that people are tired of just being presented with these two sides. They're being tired of having to pick this and pick that. So here's a better alternative. Here's another alternative. That message, I mean, it didn't get out there like that, but it's actually there. You would have to go look for it, which is
and like I said, it still baffles me how we are just now finding out about her.
That's her fault. I'm sorry.
If I'm running for president, all y'all gonna know. Everybody.
Exactly. If that's her fault. It's not our fault we didn't know about her. If you that hungry, if you want to become president, she should have worked. She should have put in the work more. I'm not saying she didn't do it now. I'm just saying if you really wanted it, you should have put it out there.
So I'm about to let y'all check this out.
Oh yeah, that's her campaign, right? I can't hear none of that.
Yeah, I can't hear it. So
Can't
I
hear
look
it?
it up. No, I'll look it up when this is done about her
No.
thing. Operation Restoration. I'll look it up.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't hear it. That's bad business.
But what is she saying though? You
That's
watched it
why we
already?
don't know she running. We can't hear her. Jay,
That's why you said you can't hear it.
you got to
That's a
make
good
sure that's a prime example. Make sure the
That's a
people
good
can hear
one.
you. If
Wow.
you're running.
That's a good one.
And that was
And
on
listen,
YouTube.
look at her
That's a-
campaign manager, Dog Vader.
I'm not a campaign manager.
This why she not getting out there.
I mean, I wish her
Oh,
best of
man.
luck in the next 4
I
years.
do too. I do. I
I
really
wish
do.
her best of luck for the next 4 years. But honestly, people don't want to see change. They're not going to change what happened with America for centuries. It's either you Democrat or you Republican if you want to be
Exactly.
presidential. So she needs to unfortunately pick a side because people are not going to hear that. People don't want to
Yeah.
see change. They want to be the same.
Plus, you
Does
know
that-
what? Too? What can
Huh?
she really offer people? So
Right.
look, Darth Vader's running. I'm running against Vader. Vader is talking that pro-black. We gonna change. Look. I'm gonna change. Whatever. I'm talking stimulus checks.
Right.
I'm talking checks. So listen.
Right.
I know the language that a lot of people want to hear. Who's gonna give me that bread?
Right.
You know how many
And that-
people will vote for me?
And that goes to this question right here.
Oh, he got questions on deck. Yo,
If
this
Trump
transition,
gave all black people reparations, would you vote for
No. I would not vote
No.
for Trump if you try to give me reparations.
him? If
I'm
he's
taking that bread though.
you wouldn't? So
I'm
No.
taking that
He
bread.
can't
So
buy
then-
me. No.
so then if he happened to win, would you want to get paid? Even though you didn't vote for him, but he still won. Would you want to get paid?
Wait, I'm sorry, say that again.
No, I'm asking Kamisha.
Oh, you know
What?
my answer.
I'm asking Kamisha.
What?
So Trump, hold on, check this out. Trump offers all black Americans foundation. I have to reiterate that foundational black Americans
Okay.
reparations for their ancestors, what their ancestors went through here in the United States. So let's say he offered. I think I told you this.
Yeah.
What if he offered $100 million every year to every foundational black American? $100 million every year for 10 years, tax free. Would you vote for him?
No.
You ain't have to offer that much money.
No.
I know. But
I wouldn't vote for him. I wouldn't vote for him if he
course
offered me
they
$1
wouldn't.
billion. I would not vote for him, even if he did that. That's like hush up money. That's hush money. No.
But then this is the thing. Do you know what we could do with that money?
Yeah, but think about all the stuff he did to our community.
After that, we wouldn't have to vote.
But what does that say about us? That us African Americans, we do anything for money. So we take your money and we'll be good. We'll vote for you. We're easy.
So was it wrong when they gave reparations to the Japanese that they put in concentration camps? Was America wrong for doing that?
That's
And were they
dumb.
wrong for accepting it?
That's dumb. That's
No,
dumb.
I'm asking you, were they wrong for accepting?
Well, I mean, that's between that time of Japanese and America. That's between them. I just feel like I'm not. He can't buy me. You cannot do that. No.
So if another president gave you those same reparations, if Biden offered those same reparations, would you take it and vote for him?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would. If President Obama did that too, I would vote for him again and again. Yes, I do not condone anybody that is Trump. He's the worst president ever in the United States history. So him doing that shows that he is a master and are his slaves still. Because there's the repercussions. What are he gonna say? You voted for me, I gave you the money. Now do as I say. He changed up everything. Then what? Make new laws. Then what? Can't say anything because you took the money.
So you think it'd be like hush money if he gave us
Yes,
reparations?
it would.
Okay.
I like the point that Kamisha just made, though.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
at first, right, I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself,
The-
and I'm like, listen, you could take the money and empower your people
That's what I'm
in
thinking.
a way that you couldn't do so before. But Kamisha just made the point that you take the money, you vote for him, and
It's
then
like
in
selling your
turn,
soul.
he does something that you can't necessarily wipe away. He does something that ultimately hurts your people in ways that the money he gave you just can't fix.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's like, oh snap, I really ended up selling my people out.
Yeah. Like what
So
if
when you
he
put it
what if
that
he
way, depending
Mhm.
on what's done, and sometimes we
Exactly.
don't know the outcome of these things, but those were some great points.
That was definitely great.
I know.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yo,
But also
I'm
think
not
about
playing
it.
it
He
from
could
last
change-
time. I'm sorry, Kamisha, but you
Yeah.
ready. She said, "Yo, y'all buck." She like this.
No,
Yeah,
because
Freddie
I was really saying why wouldn't you take the money? Like you were saying, like this could set my people up where we can get our own land, we can buy our own resources, we can have our own everything and not depend on the people who are harming us the most. And I feel like why wouldn't we do that? But then you came out with that point. That was just
I mean, look at it now. He still owe us our second stimulus check. He's waiting until after the election.
Yeah.
So,
So
if he wins, we're gonna get our second stimulus
Yeah.
check.
So it's like if I win, y'all got your stimulus checks.
Right.
If I don't,
You're not
That's-
getting it.
that's it. That's
I mean, we're still waiting for our 40 acres and a mule, right? Oh, okay. So what makes
that's
you
a
think we're
whole
gonna get
nother
that from him?
That's a whole nother.
that
For
is a
prime
whole
example.
nother thing.
Even if people take the money, you have to think about what he can do for like the laws. He can change the state laws. Like he can make New York criminal corrections system. He could say, okay, you know what? New York has no death penalties, right? He could change that and say New York will have death penalties now, or they can like reinstate it to where every state can have death penalties. People don't get the chance to have life without parole.
That's
If you took the money, you can't say anything because you got the hush money. So your people, your relatives are going to suffer because of what you did. You took that.
sounds good.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. So check this out. If you could sell your vote, how much would you sell it for? Now I think I was talking to Kamisha about this, and what I mean by this is like, say you don't like either side, and you plan on not voting. If a politician could just buy your vote, no matter if he was running for president, congressman, senate, councilman, local, federal, whatever. But if they could actually buy your vote,
No, they do. They buy it now.
I mean, they now, but I'm just saying, like, how much would you sell your vote for? Like, how much do you think your vote is worth if a politician wanted to buy your vote, regardless if you agreed with them or not? But they wanted to buy your vote. How much do you think your vote would be worth?
Nothing for me.
Yeah, that's
I'm
hard. That's too hard to say, man. I couldn't put a price on it. And the reason I'm saying that is because we never truly know the outcome of something
Of these
until it already happened. When you look at the crime bill, crime in New York City was actually high at that time.
Definitely was. It was
And
high.
so there was a large majority of people of color who were with it, who were like, listen, whatever you got to do to save our neighborhoods, do that. But look what that meant. That meant bringing officers who were from upstate and other counties who didn't live in our areas, who didn't look like us, who couldn't relate to us. They came in and policed them. And so the people that actually voted for it, I mean, so sure, systematically, some people, it was set up to cause mass incarceration in some minds, but in a lot of minds, they didn't know that was going to come about. Mass incarceration. This is the 94 crime bill. We still suffering from mass incarceration in 2000.
even the effects of us being over policed. Now you have this thing where everyone wants to defund the police, but this is a result of the '94
Right.
crime bill,
And
which
so,
Biden wrote.
yeah, and it goes back to selling your vote. So what happens when I sell my vote? You know,
Mm, that's a good
Exactly.
point.
That's definitely
the money that
Yeah.
I get isn't going to last as long as the
yeah.
detriments that I may have
That is
caused
our community.
politically. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And don't get
So
me wrong, a lot of people would end up selling their votes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what the I think that was the Black Caucus or something. It was it was a group of it was like a bunch of black mayors or something like that. Let me see
Yep.
something.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it was. Let me see if I can play this right quick. Hopefully that. Yeah, I hear that.
No.
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 What's going on? Oh, that's crazy. I don't know. Okay, so that being said, I don't know what happened, but anyway, when they was formulating this crime bill, when they was trying to also when they was formulating this crime bill, this guy Joe Biden was talking about us and using dog whistles. Of course, this is what they use. They don't directly say us. Jada Free, what's up?
I
Jada's here. So, what's up, Jada? So,
Hello.
he was talking. He was using the dog whistle, not saying minorities, Black and Latin Americans, are dangerous, and we come from single parenthoods, single parent houses, and who cares if we had a rough life or we've been economically deprived, stuff like that. He was saying, which he was speaking about us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is around that time the Super Predator thing was coming out. This is basically what he was saying about us, which he didn't exactly say the word Super Predator, but this is what he was painting us out to be. You know, and crack was booming then. This was like at the height of the crack epidemic. So our people who was on drugs, selling drugs, this thing right here, instead of like what they do today is make it a health issue where it said everyone has oh my God, what is it called? When everybody was on heroin, remember the heroin epidemic back in the day?
Yeah.
And then now you look at now the opioid, they call it the opioid epidemic. And now, like Dave Chappelle said, it's a bunch of white people. So now it's a disease, it's not a crime. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So back when they did the crime bill, our people actually had that disease. They was addicted. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't have been a crime as far as being, addicted, but they made it a crime. Not only did they make it a crime, they used that super narrative to make it seem like we was like crazy super predators to put this bill in. And then once they did that, they profited off of it. It was given like each state was getting like 80 billion or something to build prisons. So now they had to fill the prisons up. So it was like they was all scratching each other's backs some kind of way, but off our backs, and destroying our families. And I don't understand how we can overlook mass incarceration like it was really nothing.
Right.
Like imagine Jewish people that was in a concentration camp voting for Hitler years later.
That's a good point.
That's unheard of. You wouldn't even think of that. You would look at that as crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we'll still overlook Joe Biden. And then mixed with Kamala Harris,
But you make a great point too, because you also speaking about the divide in our people, though. You know what I'm saying? And they basically saying, like, I've heard it said time and time again that that's what sets us apart from any other people, but not in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? The mere fact that so many blacks walk around and call themselves niggas, where no other people really do that to themselves. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
No,
The mere fact that we be so forgiving and just overlook certain aspects of our history, certain atrocities that were, committed to our ancestors. For some individuals, we're so far removed from our ancestors that, a lot of people act like they don't care. They just concerned about themselves in this day and age. Look, yo, I'm concerned with me. I ain't have nothing to do with that. Yo, you know how far removed from slavery I am? When all actuality, if they open their eyes up, you're not that far removed from it.
exactly.
It's just it's taking a different form. Your chains look a little different
Yeah.
than the shackles back then.
Sometimes they look like cell phones,
Yeah.
Really, that's a whole other topic too. But anyway,
Write all these topics down. Feel
I
free,
know, right?
TV,
Right?
coming at you.
Shit. So, do we know what Republicans or Democrats are actually offering us for our vote, African Americans?
No.
No one knows nothing. Like,
No. For Trump, it's a stimulus check.
Trump is a stimulus check. She want her stimulus check, and Trump got this thing called, what is it, the Platinum Plan, and that
He's
sounds
still
crazy.
working on healthcare that he's been talking about since he got in office. It's supposed to be a
remember that
plan, big beautiful plan to replace Obamacare. He's
Yeah,
still
but
working on
something better. Yeah, and that never came into
that.
fruition.
That's never came into play.
Never.
So
So
Yo, wait, no, go ahead, bro.
No, I was saying, so we're still under the Obamacare plan, right?
yeah, Affordable Care Act. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yo, some of the questions that you asking,
Yeah.
people don't have answers to them. For a lot of people, they don't even really care, man. What do you mean? What are Republicans and Democrats offering African Americans? Yo, listen, look, people love being lied to, right? They love it. Listen, people love being lied to. They love slogans. Yo, make America great. What does that mean? Make America great again.
Exactly.
Right.
Yo, racist white America, they fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
That was Reagan's slogan
things to so many different people. That's all that matters to them.
Yeah.
He spoke to the hearts of a certain demographic also.
Right. Of course he did.
A certain demographic that probably felt like their voice wasn't being heard.
Right.
Which is the majority of America, which a lot of us really don't see. We don't get to see because we live in these urban areas, and we rarely get to go out. And when we do, we go from another urban area to another urban area, unless we leave in the country or something like that. So, like, the heart of America actually agrees with Trump. They like Trump. You know what I'm saying? That also lets you know how this country is.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think we need as a people?
What do I think?
Politically speaking.
Politically speaking, what do we need as a people? As far as a plan or like
whatever, it could be a plan.
Or like tangible. I would say something. I would have to say, say either reparations or some type of natural resource. Because I think either with reparations, when I say reparations, I'm talking something tangible, something that we can buy, either gain resources or we can like buy it.
Let me ask you something though.
Resource, I'm talking about land.
Mm-hmm.
Money.
So when you say reparations, do you think that Black people in America would be better off if everyone received some money? Let's say tomorrow morning, they decided to give every black person in America $1 million. Do you think we'd be better off as a people? And for how long?
$1 million?
Yeah, $1 million.
Yeah.
To give everybody $1 million?
No.
Everybody. You, mommy, everybody. Me, Kamisha, Jada, everybody got $1 million tomorrow morning.
Nah, I don't think so.
No. Well,
Do you think
you know what?
Do you think we'd be better? No, because you spoke about reparations. Do you think we'd be better off as a people?
For $1 million? No.
That $1
Not
million
at all.
is gonna be gone in less than a
What if
week.
it's 10
That
million?
means-
Everybody gets 10
Do you say
million.
That $1 million is gonna be gone in less than a week.
Jada?
Yeah, you know, everybody gonna have Gucci. Gucci gonna
Yeah, the
skyrocket.
priorities are off.
All
So
priorities.
what if it's 10? What if it's 100 million?
Oh God.
Yeah,
They're still
yeah,
gonna blow it. It don't
see-
matter. They're still gonna
I
blow
see
No,
where
it.
you.
And cars and
No.
houses and stuff.
No, because the thing is like most of us wouldn't even know what to do with the money. We would give it right
Right.
back to.
Right.
So
I mean, you
that's
look at
actually a good point.
You look at
Because-
that. Look what they did with the prime example, unemployment, right? I'm not gonna say some of my friends, during the summertime, they got the extra $600 on top of the regular amount. So people are buying snow crab legs, booking flights to Bahamas.
Crab legs.
So, like if you got the
No,
extra
crab
$600
legs?
on top of your unemployment, people are balling out, buying new furniture, not saving it until July. You're like, oh snap, they ending it. Like, oh, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, millions to
That's
that
not gonna.
now is not gonna change anything.
Yeah. So I mean, I agree with Vader, right? Our people need resources, but one of those resources, I think, is education. Like people really have to be educated. You know?
Good point. Very
No, they-
good.
No, for real. I
That's a
wholeheartedly
good point.
believe that you can't just give people money. It's not necessarily
That
going to
is
change them. You can actually make people worse off by just giving them money.
Exactly.
You can really make people worse. And people don't understand the ways that money can mess them up. You hear people say it all the time. They chasing that bag. I want to get rich.
Yeah. But we should
trying
be
to
like
get on
what
paper, but-
like Tulsa, Oklahoma was in
Right.
the 1920s before they destroyed it. White people got intimidated. We should, like Darth Vader always says, we need to
Black
have our
Wall
own community, our own town, our own businesses.
But do you
do
think
that.
money could make that happen? Like,
No, because
do
we
you
don't
think? Do you
support
think if
each
we
other.
got money, do you think we would be able to do that?
No, because
Start our own
men,
Black Wall Street, like how it
no,
was.
no, you can't do that because us being brainwashed African Americans, we're not going to think about that bigger picture. We're going to think about what we're going to do with this, ball out, buy shoes, buy this, buy that, not invest into our future or ourselves. We're not going to think about building a college. We're going to think about, buying a house. We're not going to think like that.
No,
That's deep.
why would I? When I could go get that Gucci, I'd get Gucci'd out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not going to
Phantom.
think about
Yeah.
that stuff at all. Doing our own bank. How many black banks you know out there?
Exactly. There is not a lot, but then there's more than you would actually think there is. I
Really?
think I posted on one of my Instagram posts was about black banks here in New York City. Now you have, I think, three. One is in Long Island City. One is in Manhattan. I think one might be in Brooklyn. Black
Listen,
owned.
when I was in Manhattan, Carver, I heard it's not even black owned anymore. I need to look into that.
Oh yeah, Carver. They're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, it's not.
Well,
And I
it
heard
used to
this
be
from
black.
somebody that was banking with them. You just reminded me to look into that. But it's Carver was the black bank that we had in Harlem.
It's still there. What street
Yeah,
is
it's
that?
still there,
I
but I heard it's not
one.
black owned the way
Yeah.
you
Not
think
black
it's black
owned.
owned.
I remember that.
But they,
Huh? You
but
know
they,
that thing?
I remember
The workers
my
are
father-
still black.
I remember that bank.
Yeah.
My father used to have an account with that bank.
see.
Yeah, but we don't think like that.
So they're
So,
probably posing it as a black bank.
Right. Listen. You buy it out and you keep the workers black.
Yeah,
It's in Harlem. Why wouldn't you have black workers there?
and you still give the same illusion as if it is.
As if it's black owned. So black
Yeah.
folk keep coming bringing your money here.
yeah.
Diabolical, but it's also smart.
Yeah, it's
It is.
also,
It's definitely smart.
yo, listen,
So
anytime you have an uninformed group of
Mhm.
people, you can pull all kind of tricks on them.
that's true.
Yep.
So, like you say, like you made it, both of you made a good point. It's just money by itself is not going to change our situation, I should say. So, like you said, education. But when you speak education, what type of education are you talking about? Are you talking about like getting degrees, or
No,
are you
no,
talking about
I mean, because that's one form of that's actually schooling.
schooling?
Education is right here on YouTube. Education
Yeah,
is opening a book up. Education is watching the news.
yeah,
You know, just anytime you could just reflect on something. You know what I'm saying? Get in the dialogue about something.
exactly.
These healthy conversations. I'm talking about ancestral education to know where we came from, because a lot of the things that's happening to us now, they're actually patterns. If you study history, a lot of this stuff is you know how they say there's nothing new under the sun.
Cyclical. That's what they
You know, it
usually.
just keeps happening and happening.
Yeah.
So that's why history is important. You know, when I was younger, I didn't really like history. I thought it was mad dry and boring. And then I had to wisen up and be like, yo, nah. Once I realized how important it was to my present, how important it is to the future, I understood
Right.
the importance of studying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And see, the thing about history is
Yeah.
that it teaches us not to repeat it over again, or what to
Right.
do or what not to do.
Yeah.
And this, like, I always go back to this. It's like I look at our history in this country, and even when we did vote, we still got the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like once the people up top see, or once the people look, I talk about the Reconstruction era. Once the people up top, these white people, seeing what was being done with black people, how that we were getting into the government, they shut that down. They stopped that. So, what makes you think that they can't do it again? You know,
Yep.
like we seen what they've done when we use their game against them, because that's all this politics is just a game. Once
Yeah.
we use their game against them, and look how quick we did it. We wasn't out of slavery, not even 20 years, and we gained all those people in Congress and the Senate, and just in politics and the government. You know, this was like 10 years, maybe less than. So once they seen that, and they seen our capabilities and what we could have become, they shut that down. A lot of people lost their lives for that.
Mhm.
My thing is still, why do we participate knowing that they're not even playing the game fair? The rules that they set, they're not even playing fair with their rules.
Mhm.
It's
So
crazy.
what's the alternative then?
Who knows? This is crazy. I
You
mean,
gotta look at people, you have to look at people options. You know what I'm saying? So
do we go along with it,
right.
which we have been, even though it's not working, but it's the illusion. We like to think, we like to have hope that one day it would change.
Right.
Then we go against it.
Right.
You
So
know
look,
it can
play
happen.
the game. You play the game, right? The game is unfair. You play it and get cheated. You don't play at all, and you just lose out because
You lose out.
you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take,
But
or
then
you shut the game down. How hard is that?
shut the game down.
Yeah, that's also an option. It's the hardest one,
It's the
but
hardest one. But shutting the game down.
is another discussion.
Oh, wow, yeah, bro. Because yeah, oh man, we'll be here all night talking about shutting the game down. Um, what I do think is that if we don't participate, that's gonna That's going to raise alarms. Now those people will start listening when we don't participate. But as long as we participate, we're showing that we have good faith, either in one side or the other. Whatever they place for us, which is Democrat or Republican, they place that before us. These are your choices. We show them we still have faith in them. And when I say them, those both sides are just one to me. And we're still showing that we have faith. And that's all they need. They just need us to participate.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, y'all, we like an hour. I wasn't gonna try to do an hour. Look how time flies. But thanks to everybody for popping out tonight.
Yeah.
Jada Free, thank you for popping out. Elon, thank you for popping out.
Hey,
Commissioner,
Yeah, no
popping
problem.
out. Okay.
Hey.
Anytime.
Another 2 weeks, we'll be back at it with a new topic. This is
I know what the
Phil
topic is.
and she knows what the topic is. Okay, don't spoil it.
I'm
Well, with
not.
that-
What's the news? Oh, you're not
that
supposed to
being
know what the topic is? What's the
I'll
topic?
text message
Oh,
you.
you can't
Nick.
say?
I'll text you.
Oh,
Well, he can
man.
say it. He should say it to keep people to come back. He can say
Okay.
it.
Nah, we're not gonna even say
I'll
it.
text message you,
Yeah.
Jada, what the topic
Say
is.
it. But definitely,
Too early.
Oh, man.
Don't give it to her yet.
All right.
definitely
Like a verse
thanks for
battle.
popping out.
Yeah.
Once again, this is Feel Free TV. Peace.